Well, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good start to the holiday weekend. And welcome to the Lighting of the Bath, the final webinar of a lengthy series where we started a couple months ago talking about kitchens and home offices. And last week was the bathroom. And today we're going to finalize it by the lighting of the bathroom. Couple little bit of housekeeping is that if anybody is interested, if they've missed any or caught on at the end, they can contact me and I can tell them how to get a recorded version of one of the webinars. You can go onto my website. I think it lists all the webinars. Um, and then also it is the remodeling industry is really going strong, as I've been mentioning. I've been saying to my clients all week. In fact, yesterday somebody in North Royalton thinking of doing their kitchen, we're doing the bathroom now. And I said, if you're thinking of doing it over the next 1 to 2 years, you really got to get serious because things are really getting busy. So keep that in mind if you guys are thinking of remodeling this year or into next year. The as far as my services, can help you with anything, can help you with a design, can help you with a project, whatever. So if you can interested, you could just contact me through my website or at 216-870-2644. And then also the last thing I would be greatly appreciative of is I am going, all these have been free webinar series. If people can, I'm going to send out a to review me on House. It really helps my reviews on House if you would review me and the educational part of my business. I would so greatly appreciate it when I send that out. Okay, so let's get started. What we're going to do is like when we had talked about, if people followed me through the kitchen series, is that lighting can really make or break a space. And what I'm going to do today is what we're going to cover. Okay, let me get through this here for you. Okay, what we're going to be talking about is there's going to get a basic understanding of the three kinds of lighting. It'll be very similar to the kitchen for the first part that you folks that did the kitchen lighting, and it'll be a good refresher. But we're going to understand the ambient lighting, task, and accent lighting. We're going to explore the different sources of light. And then what's really a fun part too is we're going to get into a couple of projects that I have just recently completed and walk through. Not only will we talk about the lighting in general, but I'll also walk through an electrical plan and what I like to do as far as the electrical. So I got two nice projects, and one is actually a project where I did the master bath along with adding adding one bathroom and then doing a cosmetic on the third in the same space. So that's where we're going to have some fun today. Feel free to ask questions as we go through. If I can't get to them at the end. If not, I will be happy to answer them one-on-one if you send me an email or something like that. Okay. Three principles of lighting, and we talked about them in the initial. Basically, we have our task, and what task lighting would be. Give you examples in a bathroom. Task lighting would be the sconces on either side of the sink, which is perfect to help with makeup, overall brushing of teeth, things like that. Ambient lighting is going to set a mood. I've got one bathroom here that I recently completed. I got a photo of it that I have all three really gives you a great idea of what we can do. And then the third is the accent lighting. And the accent lighting would be maybe an art object or things like that. Okay, so task lighting. Task lighting serves a purpose and it aids the worker, with the shadowless light and really serves as that task. Under cabinet lighting, this could be under cabinet lighting in a bathroom is perfect. This is a part for a kitchen where you're preparing your food, but under cabinet lighting could very easily be for under a bathroom vanity when we float it. So that would be your task. Ambient lighting. Ambient lighting is defined as general lighting that fills in shadows, reduces contrast lights and vertical surfaces to give us a nice brighter feel. Again, you're going to see great examples of ambient lighting. Ambient lighting in a bathroom is really, really special. We can do some really nice things with it. Good for casual activities in a room. Okay, there you can see some good examples of ambient lighting or lighting that upshoots into the ceiling, lighting in the bottom of floating cabinets. I do a lot of floating cabinets in bathrooms, and it acts as a great night light. So when you're going to go in and use the space at night, you have great soft light in there. Putting them on a dimmer to create a mood. A nice thing about ambient lighting is we're getting a lot of, if you were in the Kitchen Trends 2020 last week and you saw where the more of that wellness kitchen, it was the first slide, where we're bringing a lot of the outside elements in. It could be the stacked stone, it could be a lot of different things. And what we do is lighting that creates the shadow lines and a lot of things. And it's done in a bathroom, which you'll see. So it creates that mood. Accent lighting. Accent lighting is used to highlight an object. So what we can do is we can take, a lot of times what I'll do in a master suite or even in a kitchen or a family room or whatever, is I will take maybe an art object on a pedestal or a niche. Did a job for somebody in Bay Village where the architect had created a long hallway and they weren't excited about it. So what I did was I created niches going down that hallway, and then they put art objects in them, and then we lit it, and then all of a sudden it almost looked like an art gallery walking down, so served a nice purpose. Okay, so let's look at some of the pictures and some of the things in the idea gallery here. If you remember last week, that my best friend, I love this, and it's important in the bathroom too, is these wafer lights, these wafer LEDs. So what happens is now, if there's stuff in the ceiling, like exhaust units or plumbing or anything that gets in the way, I can't put the cans where I want to put them. So now with these wafer lights, they're only a ½ inch thick, that we can go in and we can put these lights in there, and we can line things up with doorways and mirrors. And how about right over the bathroom sink? Could you see Murphy's Law? Where I put the sink, there's a joist right there. So if we decide that we want recessed lighting up on top, then all of a sudden that joist would not allow me to center it. So now by using these lights, I can go and do that. Here's a new one. This is really fun. This is one where this is actually an exhaust unit, and exhaust units have come so far. The old-fashioned ones have the light in them, they're noisy, you can also get the heat in there and things like that. Now what we can do is we can go and have a recessed can and have it combined with the exhaust unit. One of the things with these exhaust units today, when you go out shopping and spend a little more money, they have them that they're so quiet that you can't hear them. They have them where they're steam, they'll turn on automatically where the steam is in the air. This one can go in a shower. Now, the only thing that my electrician has said, they've been having some issues with these directly in the shower with the breakers tripping and things like that. I like to put these, again, right outside the shower by the commode area. And you would think basically you have a recessed can, but that adds as a nice feature. So Braun is a leader in the industry with these things, Best by Braun and things like that. So, go on their website and you can get some great ideas and things like that. I don't do as much as the traditional ones today, where you have the light combination with the exhaust, like the old-fashioned ones. Mainly I'll do just an exhaust unit and then do recessed lights and things like that, like you see in the design. Okay, as promised, this is a bathroom that I did about 2 years ago. This is an award-winning bathroom. This one, ASID first place for bathrooms. And let me go through and show you the interesting things here. Let me tell you a little story. Okay, well, first I'll tell you what I did design-wise. This is out in Novelty, and it's in a beautiful, pristine wood setting. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to take the outdoors and bring it in. And so when you're looking here, you're seeing there's that stacked river rock there. See, I stacked that whole wall. And then what I did was, and this is more of a modern feel, so what I did was I created a horizontal line with a mirror and then I pulled it forward about 2 inches. Then I floated the vanities, and I created an architectural detail. So as you walk into, that's a skylight above there, by the way. And then you walk into the room and allowed for an art object, and did that little pin light there. So we have 3 sources of light here. We have ambient light, that's the light behind the mirror, it's creating a mood, and under the cabinet. We have our task lighting, which is the lighting, the recessed cans above, and the 2 sconces on either side of the sink. And then we have our accent light, which will be the light that lights down on the on that, in that case, that plant. So all 3 lights are there. Now here's the story. When we went and did this, we asked the lady, you know, can I put in the lighting, you know, behind and float the mirror? She thought that was a great idea. And then so she came home one day and I said, okay, give it a try. And she tries it. And what happened is that now that light, not just the typical, remember we talked about the Kelvins, and we'll talk in a minute again about the LED lighting with the Kelvins and things like that. But not only did it give her the Kelvin, the color of light she wanted, but she also had a feature where she could go and have it change almost like a lava lamp. And that term we used in the kitchen was called chromotherapy. That's that's therapy through light. And so now what happens is that she can go in, take a shower, have all the lights off, and have that giving her an art show, you know, a light show as she goes. It is so therapeutic. I had that girl in a home show about 3 years ago. I'll never forget. She was sitting in a certain seat. I'll always remember this. About 30, 35, and she came up to me after the talk and chased me down to my booth and said, "Thank you so much for talking about that." She says, "I suffer from severe depression, and my therapist has me on chromotherapy, and she says it really helps. Thank you so much for acknowledging it," which I thought was really nice. Here's a sidetrack also as we look at this bathroom. This is a great opportunity to see what's called porcelain tile. Look at that porcelain tile there. You can get tile, unbelievable looking tile, for anywhere from $4 to $7 a foot. Job in bathroom in North Royalton I'm doing right now. The tile was, I think, porcelain tile was $382 a square foot, and it looked just like bamboo in her shower. And here you can see, look at that stone feel with porcelain tile. There's a term also called rectified, and that's rectified porcelain tile. And what rectified is where the joints almost touch each other, so you don't have all the grout lines and things like that, which adds as a real nice touch. Okay, so that gives us all 3 lights right in one. Where do I set my sconces? Okay, so one of the things about when we light a bathroom, which 90% of the people want, they're going to want sconces left and right of the sink. And how high do you put them? Now, this is a general rule. You should really pick your sconces, but you're going to be very close at right around 60 inches. Personally, I go anywhere from like 66 to 72. Depends if the sconces are going to shoot up, shoot down. A lot of these sconces can go both ways. So you may want to pick your sconce first, but a lot of times, like what I'll do is I'll have especially if we're putting a mirror up, you know, whole plate mirror, I'll have them just run a wire, and then we'll put the box in after they pick the sconce. But that's generally where you want to put it, right in about that range. The other thing too about bathrooms, I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but what height do you want to put your vanities at? Most people today, you know, the old-fashioned vanities, like if we're replacing vanities that you have there now, they may be anywhere from 30 to 32 inches high. So now what most people want is 36 and putting it off the floor at 36, which is kitchen height. And because most people being taller today are, you know, appreciating having it taller today, like that 36 high. Okay, remember this picture because this is going to be one of the ones we're going to do our study on. This is one of the bathrooms. Here's the finished bathroom. I think we used this as an example last week showing that porcelain tile there. But look at the lighting here. Okay, so now what we did, we have general lighting. This is pitch ceilings. So we have our LED lighting. And then we have I floated those vanities up a little bit, and I went and put lighting underneath. And then we also put, now with this one, because the way the client wanted this bathroom, I couldn't put a sconce to the left of that sink. So we went with the lighting up on top, which is still fine, you know. But that's the way we decided to do this one. And then if you notice very closely, okay, above the mirroring, I put lighting shooting up into that ceiling also. So we did a very effective job of creating the ambient lighting in that space. Now, one of the things with lighting, okay, with LED, LED is a term I keep using. What is it? LED lighting is light emitting diodes. And what that is, basically in layman's terms, it's a light that, oh, you're almost never going to have to replace. And I can do things with the strip lighting, and like you see that LED lighting underneath the vanity there. I could go and put that into a shower and put it in the where the shower niche is going to be. And when you turn your shower light on, that lights up also. So that's just some of the things that we can do with LED lighting. It's so special. Now, LED lighting comes in colors. So you're going to want to, and some of it's convertible within the fixture itself, but you're going to want to be in that 2800 to 3000 Kelvin number. That's going to give you the closest to the natural light. You go down from that, it's going to be warmer. You go up from that, it's going to be whiter. So that's what the LED lighting, you always want to make sure when you're picking your fixtures. Here's a bathroom in Highland Heights that I did a little while ago, but you can see there again the combination of the giving us the ambient light, and then also giving us the task lighting with those sconces. I don't know if you can see through the mirror. I did an area where a linen cabinet, but I also floated for some artwork and tiles and that. That lighting up there on that top would be more accent lighting, because that was meant to accent, again, pieces of art and things like that. Now, here's another example of the LED lighting with the mirror pushed forward. And now you can see here's a higher Kelvin count. I would say this is probably close to 4000 Kelvins. It gives you that much more whiter type of look and appearance to it. Another thing that's interesting, if you look at these recessed cans, and you can go and spend as much money or as little as you want, but these are basically drywalled in cans where you don't see any trim. And you got little LED fixtures, lights in there, and coming down. It gives you much more of a clean appearance in your ceiling. So that's something that's available. It's a lot of work, though, I will tell you, as far as putting those in and having to finish around them and things like that. Now, the other thing, too, is usually when you think of recessed lighting, you think of having to have 6-inch cans, which are pretty normal, the 6-inch recessed cans. But look here, those are 4-inch, and I'll use 4-inch cans a lot. Now, why would I show a picture like that and show those 4-inch cans? Because you know what? At least half of you, when you come to me for the bathroom, you say to me, John, can I have a rain head? Well, what do you do with a can when the rain head's in the middle of the room? So here's a perfect situation where you go with 2 smaller cans and you go with 4-inch, and then you split them off the center, and then you could put that recessed can, that rain head down the center. Here is something that's happening a lot today with a lot of these manufacturers. And I mentioned in the kitchen class, there was a company called Edge, EDGE. And there's also a great website. My favorite light, besides Cleveland Lighting locally, there's a place in Chicago called Lightology. And they are the top, I think, one of the top lighting showrooms in the country, right by the Merchandise Mart. Terrific company. And they represent a line called Edge, where you can go with this LED, and it's actually built into mirrors like there. Okay, so you see how it's just very clean, sophisticated. You can build it right in to the mirroring and all that. The other thing too is, how do you do some more task lighting? How many of you out there are going to want a makeup mirror? So we can either hardwire a makeup mirror into the wall, or we can do a portable one. But by having that makeup mirror, then that gives you that magnifying glass with, again, the LED lighting around it, which acts as a task. There you can see the smaller recessed cans again. you know, so they're not as in your face. So it creates a nice appearance. Here's a bathroom that I did a powder room in Strongsville. And you can see I floated the vanity, and then I went and there's porcelain tile again. Look at that beautiful pattern porcelain tile. And then we went and put a just a singular light fixture above. That light fixture is pretty sleek. It's only like 3/8 glass, and the LED is shooting through the back of that fixture and lighting up and down, which really accents that wall. Okay, so that's the gallery part. Now let's go have some fun. Anybody, again, interested in my info? I'll just leave that here for a second while I talk about those other ones. I have my design company, kitchenedesigns.com, and then I have the Hall Design Group. There's my email to reach me, and then there's my phone number. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to look at a couple of bathrooms. One was a design only up in Willoughby. Actually, they're both up in the Willoughby area, the bathrooms. And one of the couples, two totally different ends of the spectrum. One is a young growing couple where they have 3 young children, probably, oh geez, 3 children under 5 or 6 years old. And I designed a master closet and a master bathroom for them. And then the other couple is in their mid to late 70s. And it was designed with them in mind, again, having the situation of getting up in years and things like that and having all that concern. Plus, we wanted to do the bathrooms for the grandkids and the kids and that coming over. So let's now go into those areas, okay, which I refer to as my command center. Okay. Again, I'm going to talk about electric too in general. Okay, this is my command center here. This is where I do all my work, my AutoCAD. Okay, so what we have here, this is what's referred to right here as a floor plan. Okay, and then this was the closet situation up here, which I won't focus on today. But they wanted his and her sinks. We wanted a freestanding tub. They wanted a makeup area. And they wanted a separate area for the commode. So let's just talk about, let's go through all the notes here and let's just talk about. So the first thing she wanted to do, she wanted to put a chandelier in the middle of the room. So we went and put a flush mount chandelier because the ceilings are only 8 foot. So we start off with a beautiful focal point as you enter the room. Okay, and you notice I centered it. Okay, pretty much right on the center of the cabinetry here, and centered it in the room. And then also, do you guys want heated floors? Very popular. I think we talked about this last week. Do you want to put heated floors in your bathroom? The electrician will need to know that. You know, so I wrote in here optional area for the heated floor. Okay, so now what we did was we went with the recessed cans. One of them's an exhaust, okay, and one of them's regular. And we wanted to locate it within the shower soffit. Now, why did I put a soffit over the shower? Okay, I don't know if I have an elevation of that, but let's see if I do. The reason I did that, no, I don't. The reason I did that was because they want to have a crown mold run around the room. You can see it over these cabinets. See, I ran a crown mold around the room. Can't run a crown mold into a shower. So what I did was I put a soffit, like a 6-inch soffit above the shower. So now the crown can go around the shower door. Okay. And the reason I put the 2 cans in here was because they want to have a rain head. So there's the rain head right there. Okay. So what we've done is we've just gone and we've just taken care. We have one of the exhausts here. Looks like that can, and then we put the other one right there. And then I put an optional TV line. They want a lot of people want to have a TV maybe in the bathroom. So while they're sitting in the tub, enjoying the tub, you know, they have the option to have the TV on a swivel, what have you. And then I put general recessed lighting right here. Okay. In the commode area, there's that recessed can / exhaust. And then we put a light fixture in the closet. This is like a linen closet, and there's a couple of portable hampers that I put in there that they can just walk, roll to the laundry room. Okay, now over in this area, okay, let me show you the elevations first, okay? And I'll show you the plan too as we go, so you can just see the general plan. So here, there's that linen area. I put a drawer. There's the two hampers on rollers. And then here, we have the cabinetry. Could be cabinetry for towels, extra towels, could be cabinetry for anything. Extra toilet paper, things like that. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now, one of the things that I was dealing with here that was really tough, but I take a negative, turn it into a positive. Their ceiling was pitched. The roof, there's their roof line. Okay, so what I did was I took here and put two cabinets down to the counter. She wanted to have a little bit of display in here, add some a little of interest. She had some personal items that she wanted to display. So we did a couple of glass cabinets there. Now, what do I do with this angle is I actually went and put a wainscoted piece on top that's just false. But then what I did here, I took a negative, turned it into a positive. That's a medicine cabinet, okay? So that's actually could be touch latched and then open. So that gives it that, and then she has two area mirrors, and there's our sconces, okay? Now, one of the things that they both wanted a pull-out system. And what these pull-out systems do is that will allow for makeup, that will allow for, actually you could use that in a seating. I'll show you here, right here, see? So what that does, that system actually pulls out, and she keeps her hair dryer, curling iron, things like that. And so we would need an outlet in there. And then I put the two sconces on the side. So that gives if you're going to sit and do makeup, you're really going to want to either have your sconces, which I would strongly recommend, and those would now be mounted at a lower level. But then also you could put in your that makeup mirror and then do an overhead if it's a very small area, you don't have the room for the side sconces. Okay, so we have that, and then we have the pull out as far as the electric that goes there. Okay. Now this area, another thing, hope you guys don't mind, but I'll give you a bonus today talking more design besides lighting too. You notice that I did this in this bathroom, and it's going to be found in the other bathroom. When I'm more limited in space and I want to maximize under the sink, okay, instead of having just a sink base with wasted space, I can go and actually put drawers in there. And what I do with the drawers is they're horseshoed. They're actually cut out right in the middle for the plumbing. So you still get a big drawer with just a little cutout for the plumbing. And if it's coming out of the back wall, the plumbing it only might be cut out for here. And then that would be a full drawer down here. So that's something that's really interesting that you can do, depending if you're going to be using stock or custom cabinets. So it all depends. And then we went and dropped our puck lights. Again, that will create the accent lighting there. Okay, so that takes care of this project. I don't think there's anything else. And then I put outlet. Oh, I know what else I did. You're going to say, well, John, why would you put drawers here and not have the glass come all the way down? Okay. So what I did was I went, and those are false. I actually went and put in the toothbrush holder. There's a niche behind here. So if you're standing here, you look, I gave you a niche for all of your toothbrush, things like that. Okay. What else here? I think that's it on this one. Okay, now let's go here. This is the one where we have 3 bathrooms. Okay, and let me just zoom in. I'm reading a question. Somebody says, John, can you talk about window treatments that balance natural light and privacy? Okay, So the window treatment that with the natural light and privacy, if you go back, let me just jump back. And this is actually, I'm glad we're here because I could show you this. Here is the bathroom we're going to be talking about right now. So to answer that question, can you talk about balancing natural light and privacy? Well, there you go. Now this one, you can get these shades that actually work from the bottom up. So what you're doing is when you don't need the privacy, okay, you can send that down, and then all of a sudden you bring that whole wooded Metro Parks into your bathroom. But when you want the privacy, you can actually go and raise it up. And then what happens is that you create transoms. And basically what a transom is a rectangular piece at the top that creates your transom. And a lot of people today are doing transoms even in, and I'm going to show you, I did a transom in this this project coming up where I had no natural light in it, and we wanted to create some natural light because there were no windows. But that was a good question. So that's how a lot of times I'll deal with the natural light and the privacy. Hopefully that answered your question. Okay. So now let's go here, and just to give us a reference, okay, here's the floor plan. There's the window that I was talking about right here, where we just talked about that, okay? So there's the tub. Now, one of the things that I like to do in my designs, instead of just putting that tub flat out against the wall, I pulled it out. Notice not on a 45, that's probably about a 20 to 25 degree angle, just to create a little bit of excitement to the space, okay? And then what I did above this one, I went and put in a couple of recessed cans. Now, some people, you notice that everybody, if they're putting tubs in today, they're going to put more of the soakers and things like that, not the platform tubs or not the wall tubs, but they want more of a freestanding tub. So you look into this situation. I went and put the 2 cans that she can sit there and relax and read and, you know, enjoy the outdoors and things like that, you know, as she's tubbing. Okay. Now, one thing also by code and switching. Now, a lot of times when I do these designs, I go and just throw the switching in just for pricing purposes. I actually come on the jobs with the folks and with the electricians and mark up exactly where we want stuff with the owner. But you look here, I put the switching there. So that controlled the tub. It controls the general recess cans. Okay, so we have general recess lighting. And then we have the lighting in the shower. Something that's very important, might have talked about this last week. I do a lot of times, this was added on here, but because again, the people their age, I would do it at any age, but these bidet toilet seats are becoming ever so popular. So one of the things that we can do with these bidet toilet seats, and we talked, I think, last week about it, but you can get these things where they'll do everything for you, from washing to drying to heating the toilet seat to everything. They're really nice features. You don't have to be an elderly person to really enjoy and appreciate these things today. So that is something to think about. So what I would do is, and I just did it in Highland Heights, okay, where I finished off a bathroom, is we just automatically are putting outlets down in that area. So just something to think about. Okay, so now here again, because what we wanted to do was we wanted these tall cabinets. I didn't have the room to put, because she wanted to open this door as a medicine cabinet. I did not have the room to go and put a side sconce. So what we did was we went and put the top, you know, right over the sink. We put the 2 lights, switched it right here, and then gave the 2 outlets. Okay. One of the things that was added also, again, here's the drawers, by the way, did the same thing. This is where those drawers become very effective. Okay, because I only have so much space. But what we did here, that's actually a pull-out, again, for the hair dryer and things like that, where we put an outlet in there. And then there's the sinks, the drawers that are cut out, and there's the lighting up on top. And then what I did with the lighting was, the light fixture that she wanted, I made this top wood piece bigger and had that light mounted in the wood. A question's going to come up a lot of times with you folks, and you know, some of you guys don't care, some of you guys do care, and you should know this going in. Where do you want to put your outlets? Okay. Now, what I did, I could go back to that picture, but actually, why don't I? Let me see where I put them. I think I'm sure I know where I put them. Okay. I don't know how good you can see here. Let's see if I can build this up. Yeah, I can. Okay. See where we put them? Okay. We went and turned them on their side. This is the kind of stuff you need to know up front, you know. But see, I turned it on its side because we did not want to put them in the mirror. So we put an outlet here. There's the switch for the lights, and there's the outlet there. Now, what I could have done is I could have said to her, you know, Noreen, we could make this a false panel. Okay, but she wanted to have that a drawer, and I agree. We could have put an outlet, you know, put it there, and I could have put one outlet on the side of the cabinetry over here. So that would have been an option, but wasn't needed. We decided just to put it in there. So you'll need to know that going in with your electrician and that. Okay. Originally, you could see here, originally I had designed a niche in there for the, like I did on that other job, but she did not want that. She just wanted to have a drawer there. Okay, so that takes care of that wall. Let's see, was there anything else in this bathroom? Oh, the exhaust, okay. So we put in just a regular exhaust unit right into the middle. There's the heated floor, okay. The outlet for the heated floor. I gotta tell you, the heated floors are not a lot of money. I gotta tell you, people really, really love them. Okay, now let's come to this bathroom here. Now this bathroom here, we went, and this was more of a cosmetic. There's a skylight above the tub. There was also a light in that area, which I did not have to deal with. Okay, so we put a new exhaust unit in, and then we put the lights above the, here it is right here. We put the lights above the vanities. And again, raised up the toe kick, floated it, and put the lighting underneath. You'd also wanted to see an option with just one sink when I was designing. There it is with one sink. Now, the other one's a really interesting one. I think we used this last week as an example from a design standpoint. Okay, so what we did here was, this is a bedroom, which is actually not even a master, but the bedroom was pretty much this big. And they said, you know what, is there any way to get a bathroom in there? And sure enough, there was. And the one thing you notice that I did that really helped with the design was we had this window all the way into the corner, this large window all the way into the corner. So what I did was I went and angled this wall out, okay? Put the commode here so it's absolutely perfect space-wise, but there were no windows in the bathroom. So what we ended up doing was to put those transoms all the way above here. So the natural light from this window goes through into the bathroom, which was a nice feature. So what we have here, we have the 3 switches. Again, one for the exhaust, one for the shower, and then I put a light here and a light over the commode. And then we put the lighting and the switch, the outlet, and put the mirror here. I mean, the light above the mirror. So when you get into a bathroom, like when you go into bathrooms like these, okay, like as a guest or a children's bathroom, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the light fixture right above. Even in the smaller, here's that smaller one, okay? And you can see this is a perfect example of where I would struggle for sconces, because to have a sconce, you want to have it at least 15 to 18 inches over from the, you know, from the center of the sink. You don't want a sconce and only have like 15 to 18 inches in between. So what I did was I went and always just put this, or it could be a Reese's can in the ceiling, you know, things like that. You know, so that all depends on the look and everything that you want to accomplish. Okay, and then we put the light in the shower area. Okay, so that takes us to the end of this webinar, and thank you guys so much. Some of you people have followed me through from start to finish, I am not done with webinars, I will tell you that. I'm just going to take a break for the summer. We're going to have webinars, and I have everybody's email list. So hopefully you guys will do me a favor when I send that out and just shoot a nice house review, which really helps me. But other than that, if you have any interest in talking to me, if you need any help with design only or help with a project or anything, just please contact me. I'm always here for you, or any questions of anything in particular. So thank you very much. Get out and enjoy this holiday weekend. I've got to go get the grass cut and the grill fired up and to have a social distant family barbecue tonight. Okay, thank you guys. Bye-bye.